So we have gathered, my dear brothers, to revive it in our own selves and revive it in the rest of humanity. As long as there will be harakah, movement, khuruj, the deen will spread. And when there will be no khuruj, then even the Muslims cannot remain Muslims. They leave Islam, as it happened in Spain, as it happened in Russia. And here in England, our elders told us that Juma namaz used to be made on Sundays. Juma namaz? Which day? Why? Because Sunday is a holiday, Friday no holiday. And they didn't have the strength of Iman to take 2 hours off for Juma. But when Jamaat started coming and giving them dawat and taking them in the environment of Jamaat, alhamdulillah, slowly people started doing the work of dawat, and now, mashallah, I don't know how many masjids in England. How many? About 3,000 masjids, and many places I witnessed they're having 2-3 Jumas. What happened? Dawat started. You see? And then madrasas started coming up, masjids started coming up. This is the force of Dawat, brothers. So today we have gathered for a special reason. Who has been called? Not the old workers, not the new workers, not the ulama. Who have been called? Masjid war Jamaat. Masjid war Jamaat has been called. Now this is very important. We have to understand this. That our elders want the work to come to the masjid level. Not halqa, not shab guzari, not, zones. Masjid war. You see? Because that's the production unit, the masjid. People will come to the masjid, they will make mashwara, they will sit in talim, they will make efforts to make the masjid abad for 24 hours. As it was in the time of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the Sahaba, as was the Masjid al-Nabawi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So if each one of us, if we come here, it's not just come and listen to some nice lectures and muzakiras and then go back home. It's about making a decision that this is my real work. I have been made for this, I have been sent for this. I have not been sent for, shops and business and trade and farming. These are not the object of my life. These are necessities of life. Doing business is a necessity. Doing shop is a necessity. Farming is a necessity. Allah could have given me rizq in some other manner also. You can sacrifice necessity for the object, but you cannot sacrifice the object for the necessities. That's why the Sahaba Ridwanullah Ajma'in, who are our examples, they sacrificed their farms, they sacrificed their shops, they sacrificed being with their wives and children. They had only one concern, how deen will be established. And they made fikr for that, and they gave their time for that, and they spent their money for that. To such an extent that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala announces in the Quran, I am pleased with them and they are pleased with me. You see? So if we want to please Allah, we have to emulate the Sahaba. If we want to be raised with the Sahaba in the Day of Judgment, then we have to emulate them. We have to follow them. Because in Hadith it says, you will be raised with those people whom you follow. So who are we following? Is our time being spent where Sahaba spend their time? Is our money being spent where Sahaba spend their money? If that is so, then that is emulating the Sahaba. But if we are spending our time where the Sahaba didn't spend their time, and we are spending our money where the Sahaba didn't spend their money, then how will we raise with them? If spending of my time resembles spending of time of other people, spending of my money resembles the spending of money of other groups of people, then I'll be raised with them. You see? So Sahaba Ridwanullah Ajma'in, Maulana Yusuf Sahib Rahmatullah Alayhi, he made a calculation. 10 years Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam spent in Madinatul Munawwara. And in these 10 years he sent out approximately 150 Jamaats in the path of Allah. And in 25, 26 times he himself accompanied those Jamaats. Some had large number, some had small number, some went far, some went near, some went for long time, some went for short time. So taking all this into account, Maulana Yusuf Sahib Rahmatullah Alayhi calculated Sahaba on the average were spending 4 months in the path of Allah every year. That is why our elders are saying that spend 4 months every year. How many people in this majlis have already spent 4 months? Can I see? So, mashallah. And those who have not yet spent 4 months, they have near to spend 4 months? Huh? And those who have already spent 4 months, and those who have not yet spent 4 months, make niyat that we'll spend 4 months every year. Inshallah. For this we have to make da'wat, we have to give, we have to cry before Allah, because this is big tawfiq. Unless Allah gives us tawfiq, we cannot do any good deed. We cannot even take a step towards any good deed if Allah does not give us tawfiq. We cannot even say Alhamdulillah, unless it's the tawfiq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to ask Him. Oh Allah, make it easy for me. I have business, I have shop, I have wife, children, all these things. I have a job, they don't give me leave. But Allah is above all these things. So we ask Him. And make dua at the time when duas are accepted. Like after Fard Salat. In Jummah today, in Jummah there is a period where dua is accepted. Time of Tahajjud, dua is accepted. Time of Iftar, dua is accepted. So we choose those times and we ask Allah. Between Iqamat and Azan, the dua is accepted. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My time is still 6:45. Just remind me 10 minutes before that. So alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the tawfiq to gather here today. Many brothers were there who couldn't come. But Allah gave us this, so we be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And my dear respected brothers, this time and age is time of fitna. You see? Sometimes your job is a fitna, sometimes your family is a fitna, sometimes you yourself is a fitna for yourself. You see? The only answer is that we be strong on this work. People will say do this, people will say do that, people will say don't do this. But we will be, if as long as we are on ita'at, we are safe. You see? What was the difference between Adam alayhi salam also made a mistake. Shaitan also made a mistake. What was the difference? Adam alayhi salam made tawbah. Shaitan didn't make tawbah. He was arrogant. You see? Not only that, he challenged that, oh Allah, I'm going to Jahannam, I'll take Bani Adam with me. I'll take the children of Adam with me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you will not be able to take my mukhlis slaves. Illa al-ibadul mukhlisun. Those who have ikhlas, you will not be able to take them. That's why in our efforts that we make on the qualities, ikhlas is very important. You see? Big people, shaheed, alim, philanthropist, they'll be brought before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they will say, Ya Allah, we did everything for you. Allah will say, no, you did it for name and you did it for fame and you did it for people who will say, oh, he's such a brave person. You didn't do it for me, and they'll be sent to Jahannam. So we should ask Allah for ikhlas. You see? And we should ask Allah that we can stay on ita'at, on obedience. This is the first lesson we learn in Tabligh, obey the Amir. You see? Sometimes the boss is Ma'mur and his subordinate is Amir. So the boss obeys the Amir in the same, workplace. So how will we be on ita'at? Every brother should be joined to the mashwara of his masjid. He should run his life and his activities and his dawah by the mashwara of the masjid. And every masjid should be under the mashwara of the halaqah. And every halaqah should be under the mashwara of the city. And every city should be joined to Dewsbury. And Dewsbury should be joined to Nizamuddin. This is our chain of command. As long as we are like this, inshallah ta'ala, Allah will take work from us. You see?
দাওয়াতের কাজ যারা করবে প্রয়োজনীয় ইলম দিয়ে আল্লাহ তাআলা তাদের দ্বারা কাজ নেবেন, প্রয়োজনীয় যোগ্যতা দিয়ে আল্লাহ তাআলা কাজ নেবেন।